Ecclesiastes this morning, chapter 5, verses 8 and 9. If you see oppression of the poor and denial of justice and righteousness in the province, do not be shocked at the sight. For one official watches over another official, and there are higher officials over them. After all, a king who cultivates the field is an advantage to the land. Don't be surprised if you see injustice in this world. This world isn't God's perfect world. You know, people ask that question, well, if God is so good, then why is there so much bad stuff going on in the world? Let me give you a little hint on this. The devil's been graffitiing the place. God has allowed the devil, out of his cage. The devil has come here, and actually it was Adam and Eve that allowed him out of the cage. They surrendered to him, they went the wrong way, and so now we get a strong lesson here for thousands of years. So the devil's being allowed to kind of hang himself on his own rope. God's allowing us to see how bad sin actually is. And if he didn't do that, if he stepped in, if God intervened at every moment in time, you'd be like, you and I wouldn't know how bad sin was. So God's allowing it temporarily. This isn't eternity, but he's going to allow it for a period of time here, and we're going to see how bad it is. And someday, 10,000 years from now, 10 million years from now, we will be looking at things and, we'll have free will. We'll be able to choose to go against God, but we won't, because we'll be able to look back and say, yeah, I remember that. I remember that very well. Perfect recall. And sin, everything we ever touched with sin was disastrous. And so it's going to be a great help to us. So God is allowing the devil to hang himself on his own rope. So if you see injustice in the world, don't blame it on God. Oh, it's an act of God. Well, you know what? It's really an act of Adam and Eve. It's an act of humanity. Humanity took the bait. Humanity disobeyed God and did what the devil said. And so we're kind of getting we've reaped some of that. We're reaping some of those bad results. So the problem really, it's not an act of God, it's an act of rebel humans. But God's going to fix it anyway. Let's make sure we're on his team. All right, let's put a note at 8 and 9. Don't be surprised by human inhumanity toward humans. No, don't be surprised by that. You will see injustice. There's a great controversy on God is finishing this thing. We're not going to finish this thing. God is finishing this thing. So we want to look to God's solution through Jesus. It's not by might, it's not by power, it's by God. Would you join me tomorrow for verse 10?